Good morning, everyone. This is your girl, Jasmine D. Felder, and welcome to the Brand of Jasmine D podcast. So, the purpose of this podcast, again, is to discuss the modern day woman, her lifestyle, her career, parenting, relationships, family, and more. It is through my own life experiences that I want to share with you all to discuss topics that are sometimes taboo and to be able to actually break down those topics and actually explain and learn and develop from them. This morning, I want to discuss internal and external factors of really going full circle in life. I know a lot of times it seems as if we take 10 steps forward, and then if we take 5 steps back, if we take 1 step back, or if we go the entire way back, that's failure. But I'm starting to learn that taking a step back is not failure. Knowing when to stay still or knowing when to take a step back to advance forward is actually the true way to advance. It's actually the true way to really catapult into your future and into your purpose. I was listening to some videos and I was listening to some messages the other day because it's so very important to pour into yourself. It's so very important to have inspiration on a daily basis. You have to constantly fill your cup because on a daily basis, as we work, as we parent, as we maneuver through our relationships, whether those are friendship or romantic relationships, we're pouring into others. But if we're not having anything or anyone to pour back into us, that's when we start to feel empty. That's when we start to get frustrated. That's just when we start to overall feel as if we just have nothing going on. So I was listening to a message the other day that talked about the outside does not dictate the inside. What we appear to look like, what we appear to be, is not necessarily who we are. I heard a saying one time that says, sometimes God hides us in plain sight. And I love that saying. Because if you think about it, in today's time, especially with social media, our outside is the only relevant factor. As long as we have those likes on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever social media platform that you're on, as long as people are sharing your posts, as long as people comment, you're popping. But if you upload a picture and no one likes it, or you have like 1 or 2 likes, no one comments, internally you might feel like, wow, well, maybe this picture isn't as beautiful as I thought. And it's crazy because we are actually seeking validation through other people. But what happens when you're external, who you are on the outside has nothing to do with who you are on the inside? For example, when you're stepping into your purpose, when you're learning who you are with God, when you're learning who you are as yourself, when you're learning who you are without all of the other factors and all the other hats of mom and career woman and business woman and wife and daughter, you start to realize that who I am really matters. But if you're focusing so much on your outside appearance, you're making sure the lashes are done. Ladies, you're making sure your hair is done, your nails. Yeah, it feels good to have those things done. But if internally you're rotten, it does nothing great for you. So the saying that says, God will hide you in plain sight, it pretty much is saying, on the outside, you may not look how the world says you should look. On the outside, you may not even look how you want to look. I know personally, I've had to at times take a step back from my norm. Maybe I didn't go get my hair did as much. Maybe I didn't go get my nails did as much. Maybe I did not get my lashes done as much. But it's made me fall in love with who I actually am. And my natural beauty, yes, but it's also made me fall in love with who Jasmine is internally. So the saying that says God will hide you in plain sight means that God will sometimes allow people to not see your value externally. They will have to get to know who you are internally to actually see your value. God will hide you in plain sight. So sometimes in that relationship, sometimes in the friendship, sometimes just in work relationships, whatever it may be, God would hide your value. Because while it's hurtful to us for a second, God knows that if He shows everyone who you are in that current moment, people will latch on to you for their own selfish reasons. People will latch on to you because they see your value. You may not be the CEO externally right now, but internally, you've always been that CEO. You've always been that wife. You've always been that 6, 7, 8-figure income woman. But if God shows that to everybody right now, imagine the selfishness from other people. They're going to latch on to you because who they know you are, who they know you can be. But if God hides you in plain sight, then everyone shows their true intentions. They'll say you're a nobody. They won't mind leaving. They won't mind talking behind your back. They won't mind talking about you. And it does hurt for a temporary second. But what an amazing thing it is to know that when you do get to where you are, everyone who stayed around, they stayed around for who you are personally. Maybe at that time there were no external benefits. They couldn't get money from you. They couldn't borrow money from you. They couldn't use you as a reference on the application. They couldn't get you to do their resumes. They couldn't get you to buy this and buy that. But they stuck around for who you actually are. They stuck around for your laughs. They stuck around because your internal joy. They stuck around because they knew something amazing was in you. And while it was not showing at that time, they stuck around because they just wanted to be around. They wanted to support and they wanted to love. And that's why it's amazing that when you do get to your great, amazing place in life, if you actually followed the course and you did not try to force people to be around you, it's amazing to know that the people who are there because they're supposed to be there. So let God hide you in plain sight. It's okay if people don't see your value yet. It's okay that they don't know you're going to be this amazing person. I always say social media, and please understand that I do not dislike social media. I love social media. I think it has as many pros, but it also has as many cons. And in today's modern society, we have to run and tell people everything. As soon as a thought runs into our head, we have to say, oh, I'm about to do this. Oh, I'm graduating in a year from now. Oh, I just love this man. And there's nothing wrong with showing appreciation. It's nothing wrong with wanting to celebrate your happy moments. But I also believe you have to be careful about alerting the enemy to your plans. You have to be careful about letting people know your thoughts and your dreams. Because one thing about it, God did not give everyone your dreams. He did not give everyone your vision. I never would have imagined a year ago that I would be starting a podcast. I did not imagine 5 years ago I would have a business. I did not imagine that I would have written 2 best-selling books. If I would have told someone prematurely what I was doing, and I have at times, but if I would have told people I'm about to start a podcast, that would have, first off, alerted the enemy to what I was doing. That would have, secondly, invited a lot of opinions. And I have been in situations where people have invited their opinions into what I wanted to do. And what that does is it causes you to second guess yourself. It causes you to reroute your thinking. And it places negativity on something that should not have even been told. So I do encourage you. I know it's exciting. When a thought pops in your mind, it's so exciting to tell the world. But what you have to do is be very careful about alerting people to your thoughts and to your dreams. Because if you're talking to the wrong person, they will place negativity on that. You will invite the wrong people into something that's supposed to be so sacred and so special. It's okay to hold on to something. And I'm going to tell you, I have a bad problem with that. I have a bad problem with holding on to things. My grandmother, Lord God rest her soul, who I miss so much. My grandmother used to always tell me I could not hold water. And she was true. Because I would know, I'd be like, you want me to show you your birthday gift? I'm that person. I'm so excited about your birthday gift that I cannot wait to give it to you on your birthday. I have to kind of hint to it, talk about it, or whatever the case may be. But with your thoughts, with your visions, with your businesses, please hold on to it. Write the business plan. Set it up. It's okay to pop out with a business. I'm telling you, I have at times popped out prematurely with things, and then they did not go the way they were supposed to go. People do pray for your downfall. So it's okay to pop out and say, hey, look what I've done. This is amazing. Have your things in order before you talk about it. Because if you talk about it prematurely, before God is ready to release it, you have now invited people to come in again with their thoughts and their opinions. You have alerted the enemy. You have placed an unnecessary pressure on yourself. So I really want us to be mindful of these things. Who you are externally is not who you are internally. Now, when those two people meet together, that is an amazing thing. When those two people meet together, that is an amazing thing. But right now, God is hiding a lot of us in plain sight. He's preparing us. He's pruning us. We're going through a process. And I'm telling you, I for so long tried to let my external factors prove who I was. And we have to stop doing that. Yeah, you got on the designer, but your bank account is in the negative. That makes no sense. So with hiding in plain sight, it's okay sometimes. It's okay. You're going through a process. You cannot look like the person you were last year. And that's okay, because you're not supposed to look like who you are last year. Because once you make your full transition, people should be able to see, oh my goodness, look at where she is now. Yeah, you're going to have the haters that says, I remember when she worked at Church's Chicken. I remember when she couldn't pay her bills. That's okay. But look at me now. But if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, you're going to delay your process and you're going to put yourself in a worse situation. Let God hide you in plain sight, so that the people who are in your life, you know they're there because they want to be there. They're there not because of what you can do for them, but because of honestly just who you are. Let people love on the joy that you give. Let people love on the laughter that you give. Let people just honestly want you because of who you are, not because of what you can do. So let God hide you in plain sight. Let those external factors not determine who you are internally. Go through the process. The shaking, the beating, the bruising, all of that hurts. All is painful. I know. I'm not telling you all anything that I do not know. But what I know is once you come out of that process and you've done the shedding, because there's a process. You have to shed. You have to shed people. You have to shed relationships. You have to shed thoughts, and you have to shed ideas. I am not the same Jasmine that I was 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago. As we grow, our mindset changes. So it's important for me to share that with you all. Let who you are externally not affect who you are internally. Those two individuals will meet. They will meet and they will get on the same page one day. But sometimes who you are internally is growing. She's building. Her mind is evolving. The things that she used to do, the places that she used to go, the things that she wanted to do, she started to evolve. And if you try to make her look on the outside like she used to be, You're going to keep bringing her down while she's trying to evolve. And that's where we sometimes have those internal battles. So I wanted to share this message with you all today so that we could start the process of growing and evolving. Letting God hide us in plain sight. Realizing who's truly for us and shedding those negative factors. Not wanting to keep up with the lifestyle just for the social appearances, but actually going through the process how God wants us to go through the process. It doesn't feel good, but know there's an expected end, and that expected end is going to feel 10 times, 20 times, 100 times better than you trying to stay on a certain level. Always remember, elevation is the most important thing. And anyone in your life who does not want you to elevate is not truly for you. So, again, let's rise and let's be the best person that we can be. This is your girl, Jasmine D. Felder, and this is the Brand of Jasmine D podcast, and I am checking out.